Broadcasting from the Washington Hilton in Washington, D.C., Solutions Review is on location at Boomi World 2019. Brought to you by Dell Boomi.
Hey, it's Doug Atkinson here on the exhibition hall floor, and I am with a Boomi customer, and that's Alie Doostdar, who's the Director of Enterprise Applications at Alteryx. And Alteryx is an analytics platform.
Correct.
And you have been using Boomi for about a year now?
Over a year and a half.
Year and a half?
Yes.
And so talk me through a little bit about kind of I think it's interesting for our customers to understand, or our audience to understand, the size of Alteryx and kind of you're a reasonably good mid-sized technology company.
Sure. Alteryx right now is about $360 million company with about 1,100 employees at the moment. But our growth rate is about 53% a year, which is pretty astonishing. And it demands a lot of innovation and proactive work that we need to do in order to support the business growth. Because of this scale of increased revenue and customers and employees, we're going to have a platform of information technology that it can support that growth.
So with the Boomi platform, there's a lot of moving parts to it. It's got several elements. What elements of it particularly are you taking advantage of?
We use integration services and also the flow to innovate within our environment to provide business solutions to our business partners.
And are there particular applications, being the director of applications, that you're incorporating the Boomi technology?
Absolutely. We currently have over 70 different SaaS applications within my application portfolio that my team manages. And Dell Boomi is our standard iPaaS platform that we leverage in order to connect these core information systems with each other, so our users have the most up-to-date data available to them to make better decisions.
And so how have you found working with Boomi? I mean, you've been at it now for a while, and it's my understanding that it's something, when you started at Alteryx, you inherited Boomi and then
Correct.
put it to use.
Absolutely. Well, we see Boomi to be a great partner for us because of its capability when it comes to connecting cloud applications. As I mentioned, our core information systems is a SaaS-based cloud systems, and Dell Boomi is a very well-fitted technology that we can leverage in order to connect these applications together.
So what are some of those cloud applications you're employing?
The core applications that I can talk about is Workday, our HCM, Salesforce, which handles our CRM spectrum, and then also NetSuite, which is our ERP.
Yep. And so do you have some practical applications you'd like to share in terms of how you're connecting the dots there?
Sure. Actually, I have a couple that I am very proud to share and actually talk about. One is the capability for account receivable to match a PO that we get from the customers to an order that it was sent to them. So our Salesforce sends a contract or order to our customers, and the customer cuts a PO for us, right? And our account receivable manually had to go through over 50 different POs in order to match the PO to that specific sales order that it was created. We're using integration services of Dell Boomi as well as the flow in order to automatically match the PDF file of the order with the PO that it was created by the customer.
So that's creating some pretty solid efficiencies.
Absolutely. I mean, we did a kind of study, and it reduces almost 35% of the workload that it is on the account receivable and salespeople to do this type of activity.
Is that right?
So it is a pretty good
well, and you're an
efficiency.
analytics platform,
Yes.
So you should be able to measure pretty much everything.
Absolutely.
Well, that's great. Have you been checking out some of the keynotes and some of the announcements that they're making? Do you see things that you might find interesting in the future? What's on the horizon for how you might leverage?
Absolutely. This is a great conference. I'm attending the keynotes as well as several sessions. But in terms of what's happening and what's coming up in our journey with use of Dell Boomi is MDH, Master Data Hub. Data quality is obviously a major issue for business areas because we want to kind of work with the right data sets in order to make decisions. So my intention is to leverage MDH in the near future in order to bring some data quality and integrity from our source systems to other applications, so that way then we have eliminated as much as possible incorrect data within our environment.
Interesting. And so how do you one of the things that we're asking folks is, as they implement Dell Boomi or really any integration platform, what are some of the things that folks should think about that they might want to be mindful of in terms of avoiding any kind of pitfalls that in an implementation that you've learned in terms of lessons that you can share with folks?
I think the first and foremost is having a good relationship with your Dell Boomi personnel when it comes to consulting and your salespeople, and actually leverage their skills because they know the product. I was lucky enough to work with a great technical crew from Dell Boomi to actually go through some of these concepts and run it by them before we actually go ahead and do the coding to make sure this is going to work. And
right.
then also partners. We do have a couple of partners that we work with very closely in order to implement some of these innovations within Dell Boomi environment.
Excellent. Well, always a pleasure to talk to a customer. We appreciate the time. Thanks for swinging by. Hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Thanks.